Um, Hello everybody, this is my funny presentation. Why SMG4 and SMG3 are gay for each other. A very, very in-depth analysis by me. Just know, just know that this is not going to be like a total like analysis. It's mostly just like proof that they are a very cute couple to explain to my friends who don't know anything about SMG4 and SMG3. Okay. So, to start off, who are these guys? Well, SMG4. This is Blue Mario. Super Meme Guardian 4. He has powers, don't worry about it. He's the titular protagonist of the YouTube series SMG4. He's a YouTuber. He creates videos and memes. He's usually the calm, stable, level-headed one, but when he's determined to make good content, he gets a little bit crazy and impulsive and makes bad decisions, but he's mostly chill, though. I'm sorry, chat, my sister is talking. Here. Anyway. SMG3! Purple Mario! He's Super Meme Guardian 3, yay! He's sort of a rival slash frenemy slash ex-antagonist to SMG4. He's a Twitch streamer. The crazy, chaotic, quote-unquote evil one. He's emo. He loves blowing stuff up with bombs, but if the time calls, he can be calm and reasonable, not totally heartless. He's not SMG4's brother. This contrary to popular belief, they're not related. They're not related. Why do people ship it? Enemies to lovers trope, good. And the two have a very funny dynamic, but it's a wee bit deeper than that. Okay. Now, time for a brief synopsis of their character development. The two originally began as complete enemies when SMG3 first appeared back in 2011, and the two could not and would not get along. SMG3 was just trying to steal SMG4's YouTube video ideas, just for the funny. And it was not okay. They didn't get along very well. Then came along the YouTube arc, roughly like 9 years later. SMG3 became very, very much more evil and an actual threat. And he was so determined to like steal SMG4's videos that he would erase SMG4 and his friends and his channel altogether, which is very, very evil and bad. He shouldn't be doing that. But now, yeah, that didn't work, clearly, because the channel's still up, so you know. Continued. After the YouTube arc, the two are able to get along okay-ish for the sake of making sure memes go through their proper life cycle, but they still hate each other's guts. Then comes the Genesis arc, slash War of the Fat Italians 2021. SMG4 and SMG3 both discovered that they are meme guardians and have powers. And those powers require them to hold hands and focus really hard. So then the powers work. And with these powers, they have to team up to defeat a bigger bad. And while they still don't like each other much, they realize they can work together well when the time calls. Okay. The Revelations arc. SMG4 and SMG3 have trained their powers and have to defeat that same bigger bad again, but like in a different form. And now they are much better at their powers, and they're capable of defeating pretty much anything thrown their way with their funny meme powers. SMG3 is still a little bit evil, but SMG4 and SMG3 are able to get along well enough now. After the Revelations arc, the two are basically friends, but they won't say it. SMG3 hangs out with the SMG4 crew more often, and the two participate in friendly rivalry now and again. Alright, everyone's favorite arc. It's gotta be perfect! SMG3 saves SMG4's life and admits that the two are friends, though denies it later. We will be coming back to It's Gotta Be Perfect later. I promise. After the It's Gotta Be Perfect arc, the two are basically friends and like hang out and interact regularly and still participate in friendly rivalry, but they actually like get along much better. SMG3 has morals now. Wow, how epic of him. Character development. Okay. The negative sides of their dynamic. The two frequently argue and get into little petty fights. And sometimes their relationship is a little bit tense because of like past issues and whatnot. SMG3 still has a part of him who dislikes SMG4 for being more popular and being a better, cooler version of him, which can sometimes get him to dislike him a bit. SMG4 often teases and pokes fun at SMG3, but SMG3 is often incredibly defensive and snaps back at him with a rude comment in return, so he cannot take silly comments well sometimes, which can lead to disputes. But even though the two argue incredibly frequently, they do eventually find ways to solve their problem. It just takes a long minute. Okay, canon moments. Actual conversations and moments the two characters share in this show. Starting off with It's Gotta Be Perfect. I'm gonna be yapping about It's Gotta Be Perfect for a while now, chat, so buckle up. The live stream leading up to it, SMG3 keeps knocking on SMG4's door more than the rest of the crew does. And he keeps on bringing SMG4 McDonald's and Starbucks, despite SMG4 not coming out. And even tries to play a Switch game with him at one point. Like, SMG3, this is a 72-hour live stream, and there are other people that are, like, coming in to check on SMG4, but SMG3 is the one who stays around the longest for the entirety of the 72-hour live stream, compared to the rest of the crew who gives up, like, after, like, the first couple days. Alright, his first monologue, when SMG3, Meggy, and Mario are like trying to get to SMG4, SMG realizes that SMG4 doesn't feel good enough and can relate to him, understanding what he's going through, and feels bad. But he immediately says afterwards that he doesn't care about him and says that he feels this way because he's cosmically linked to him. Yeah, right, buddy, shut up. Then we got his second monologue. SMG3 is trying to talk to SMG4 when he, Mario, and Meggy are nearly about to die, trying to get through to his head that SMG4 is worth more than just the things he makes. And this monologue is how SMG4 breaks out of the dang demon keyboard's grasp, and that is very, very emotional and beautiful. It makes me cry. SMG3, he risks his life to help SMG4 finish the perfect video while the castle is falling in on them. Like, he didn't have to do that. He could have just let SMG4 finish the video on his own and save himself, but no. Now he pulling out a chair and a laptop from thin air to help this man out. And then SMG4 has to make a choice. Just either save SMG3 or save the USB with the perfect video that he spent weeks working on. And SMG3 tells SMG4 that they are friends. And that snaps SMG4 back to reality. And that causes SMG4 to choose to save SMG3 and allows the USB to get lost in the abyss. Alright. So after Peach's castle is destroyed, SMG4 tries to find a new home. Boopkin suggests the Starbucks where SMG3 lives. SMG4 says it couldn't be that bad. He only leaves because there's so many Knuckles there, but you know. But that still could have been an option. He still could have stayed in an alternate universe, you know? Just this entire episode, like, nothing else needs to be said. I don't need to elaborate on this one. War of the Fat Italians 2023. Okay, so SMG3 jumps into SMG4's arms. SMG3 rubs SMG4's shoulders before a boxing match. This gay fusion dance. SMG3 draws SMG4 in his notebook. SMG3 moves onto the showgrounds to be closer to his friends despite denying it. And we will be coming back to War of the Fat Italians 2023 later. You used to be cool. SMG3 being tasked to kill SMG4, his rival, to prove that he's a real villain. But he chooses not to. Not because he cares about him. No. It's because killing isn't his style. However, as soon as Eggman goes to kill SMG4, SMG3 instantly beats the crap out of Eggman and sends him to space. So, you know, like look at his face. Look at his face when the gun is pointed towards SMG4. That's gotta mean something. Puzzle vision. The two are next to each other for pretty much most of the movie. There's a Titanic parody scene, and it's barely heard, but when the entire crew is like excited after SMG4 defeats Mr. Puzzles, SMG3 yells, "That was awesome!" And that's like very, very cute of them to do that. It's very, very silly. Subtle moments, quote unquote. These are little things that the animators / writers have snuck in there for the funny and are kind of just like subtle nods to us. They have to hold hands to harness meme powers. They have to save each other often. This fan-submitted clip. This was put in an official SMG4 collab. Yeah, nothing said. This kiss challenge Mario forced them into. Every single time SMG3 blushes or says baka, he only does it around SMG4. Oh yeah, this is very important and plot relevant. The Father I Crave Cheddar statue. In CEO of Riz, the episode, SMG3 says this statue is perfect to give to a date. And then, in Mario's plane trip, SMG4 has that statue in his luggage. Like, look at that. They gotta explain something. Also, speaking of Mario's plane trip, SMG4 says that he has someone waiting back home himself. It zooms in on SMG4's locket, but we don't see who it is before it gets interrupted. There's lots of options, but it could be SMG3. SMG4 and SMG3 design mascot horror. Mario says hi Twitter when SMG4 suggests romance. SMG4, just the fact that he suggests a romance novel at all. Yeah. The fact that SMG4 tells SMG3 that he is the rosemary to his bread. In SMG4 Simulator, in the fishing minigame, SMG3 is glowing but worth negative points, and the timer skips over 34. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna read SMG4's search history with me, alright? So, does SMG3 shower? His live stream channel. How to apologize to someone after telling them they stink. How to say sorry to someone that you love and care about. Take a gander. This scene, the immediate cut to SMG4. Well, SMG3 has an answer to his question now. Anyway, SMG3 goes over to SMG4's place to borrow sugar despite owning a coffee shop and having owned it for 2 months. The two break the fourth wall, and apparently they plan their conflicts for episodes together now. SMG3 pulls SMG4 under the counter as protection. Okay, these may be compelling arguments that, like, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Okay, these are, like, kind of cute and silly, but, like, that's not, like, legitimate proof that they would make a couple. But we are missing one very crucial point right here. Snow Trapped! Everyone's favorite! They canonically do the 650. And then they keep bringing it up. It's referenced in this episode. They're playing with dolls in a similar fashion to the one scene in the episode. And You Used to Be Cool. SMG3 is thinking about it when he says that he thinks he's gotten too close to his friends. What do you mean by that, buddy? In SMG4 theory, SMG4 is thinking about it. Why is he thinking about it? And then, like I said before, we're bringing up War of the Fat Italians 2023. The entire War of the Fat Italians, SMG3 and SMG4 are trying to get back SMG3's notebook, which has secrets about what happened in the igloo. And also, the game show question is, what happens at exactly 6:50 of classic SMG4 episodes No Trap? That's the exact time. And also, apparently the answer was screams of pain. Shroomy, buddy, those are not screams of pain. Why do they keep bringing it up? Okay, so would the two actually work well together as a couple? Yes, they would! Despite them arguing like an old married couple frequently, there's no doubt that they actually care about each other and can sort out problems eventually. Their dynamic is a lot of fun, and seeing them as a couple would make the show a lot more fun and interesting. Now my final message, my conclusion. They're gay. Make them kiss. And that is all, everybody.